Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video here today titled, "He Found Out About Her $47,000 Escaping Account and It Backfired." So this woman had a bank account which she decided to hide from her husband. The husband eventually found out and it backfired on her. Now, before we jump into this video, guys, I want to quickly switch the genders here and do a hypothetical scenario. Whenever a man does something like this, it's always seen as the biggest crime ever. How dare he have money that doesn't belong to her and the relationship? Why does he have his own money? Why is he trying to hide money from her? This guy would be absolutely flamed all over the internet. But when women do it, it's totally fine. Let's jump.
Am I the asshole for not giving my husband my escape money when I saw that we were financially struggling? I'm a 34-year-old female, have recently ran into a situation with my husband, who's a 37-year-old male, and I'm curious about if I am the asshole here or not. So me and my husband have been together for 8 years, married for 7. When I got married, my mother came to me privately and talked about setting aside money as a rainy day escape fund if worse came to worse. My husband has never showed any signs of being dangerous and rarely even gets upset, but the way my mother talked about it, it seemed like a no-brainer to have.
Why would you feel the need to create this type of account if your husband didn't give you a reason to doubt him when it comes to the stability of your relationship?
When me and my husband, I really don't like that. When my husband and I got together, we agreed I would be a stay-at-home wife. We are both child-free, so that was never a concern. My husband made a comfortable mid-six-figure salary. All was good until about 2 years ago. He was injured at work in a near-fatal accident. Between hospital bills and a lawsuit that we lost that ate up nearly all of our savings, I took a part-time job while my husband was recovering. But when he fully recovered, we transitioned back into me being unemployed, as my husband insisted that it was his role to provide.
Man, I swear, these women spend so much time crying on TikTok that, to be honest, if they put just as much effort into their skin, maybe they wouldn't come across quite as horrifying. Guys, I don't want you to be horrifying with horrible skin either, which is why today's episode is sponsored by Tiege Hanley. Guys, if you don't know who Tiege Hanley is, they are a skincare company that is specifically dedicated to helping men by creating a straightforward skincare solutions. Their systems are designed to be very easy to use, so maybe you're one of the dense individuals that follow this channel, maybe you're one of the male feminists, then even you, yes, you will have no trouble getting the hang of it. Guys, Tiege Hanley offers various skincare systems to help improve your skin, but me personally, I recommend starting off with their level 1 system. It's super simple. It has a face wash, an exfoliating scrub, and an AM and a PM moisturizer, and SPF 20 as well in the AM moisturizer. Everything you need to kickstart your skincare routine. Guys, I have personally used Tiege Hanley's level 1 system even before they became a sponsor of the channel, which is why I feel comfortable recommending them to you guys. And here is the proof. If you guys head on over to their website, they have plenty of 5-star reviews from customers absolutely everywhere. So feel free to even take a look at some of these reviews that I am putting up on screen for you now. And guys, because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they are offering an incredible deal specifically for you. Just click the link in the video description now to get 40% off of your first box. Plus, you also get a free gift. With the free gift, you can choose between either a silicone body scrubber or a nail and grooming kit. Me personally, I prefer to go with a nail and grooming kit. Also, guys, if you need an acne-specific kind of solution, maybe you're struggling with acne, you can also get 40% off of the brand new Tiege Clear Acne Systems if you use my link in the video description. So guys, don't hesitate any longer. Check out the link in the video description to start your skincare journey with Tiege Hanley today. But anyway, let's get back to today's episode. What a surprise, guys. You know, as soon as the finances start becoming a little bit shaky, this woman just coincidentally, because her mother convinced her apparently, she coincidentally started setting aside that retirement fund, as it were, right? The escape fund. This is something that a lot of modern women do these days. You know, they're not necessarily in it for the long haul. They're not necessarily in it for for a long-term relationship, oftentimes they treat marriages, they treat these long-term relationships as though it's something that they can leave and then rob the dude afterwards. So, you know, this is why a lot of men don't want to get married, is because you have these women who will marry them or date them or whatever until they can either A, walk away with money, or until it suits them to leave. I find it very interesting that this woman decides to start this $47,000 escape fund around the time at which this man's work starts to go down a bit. Okay, this is something that a lot of guys go through, right? You lose your job, perhaps your income isn't as good anymore, and then all of a sudden, your wife or your girlfriend starts getting the cold feet. She's not as, you know, she's not as pleasant to be around anymore. She starts creating issues and drama, and she starts talking about having breaks and things like this because she wants to leave as soon as the finances are gone.
He currently is working 2 full-time jobs and Ubers on his off days to keep us afloat. Here is where I might be the asshole. I do all of the expense management and have continued to put money into my escape account, although I significantly decreased from $750 a month to just $200 a month.
Wait. Let me get this straight. This is insane. So this dude is working 2 jobs plus Uber. She is a stay-at-home wife, okay? I don't know if they have a kid or not. It doesn't sound like they have a kid. So she's just staying at home doing nothing, it seems. And so what she's doing is this dude's out here working 2.5 jobs just to keep them afloat. And she's siphoning, if I understand this correctly, she is siphoning his money to her account because she, quote unquote, manages the finances. Guys, this is exactly why. If you're a dude, you're in a relationship, you're in a marriage, something like this, I would strongly encourage you to never give, you know, do not give financial access to the woman. Just do not do it, guys. I think men should be responsible for their own finances. They should be responsible for making things work. Don't rely on other people to do it for you, because they will absolutely screw you over at one point or another. I have seen so many relationships, guys, they split up, and then what has to happen is the dude earns all the money and he has to like instantly freeze the accounts because he knows that the woman is going to steal the remainder of whatever's in the accounts if she's able to continue to have access. You see what I'm saying? So this is absolutely insane. Dude's out here working 2.5 jobs. She's managing the finances, and she was putting, what was she putting away? $750 a month or something, she said originally. But don't worry, guys, she only lowered it to stealing $200 a month from this particular man. Now, that's if I'm understanding the situation correctly. In any case, I really don't think you should be giving financial access and sharing finances with people in general. Look after your own finances, guys. You'll probably thank me later. Let's continue.
So he was working 2 full-time jobs and doing Uber on his days off, but she was still taking $200 per month?
My husband came home exhausted one night and asked about downsizing because the stress of work was going to kill him. I told him downsizing would not be an option, as I had spent many years making our house a home, and offered to go back to work. He tried to be nice.
Downsizing is not an option, this woman says. So this woman's sitting at home doing nothing. Okay, this guy says, hey, listen, I'm ruining my body. I'm out here working these 3 jobs. It's absolutely ridiculous. I think that perhaps we should live somewhere a little bit more, but you know, inside of our means. And this woman, who, by the way, is siphoning money off to her little savings account here, says, no, I don't really, you know, no downsizing. I can go back if you want. But of course, this guy's going to say no, right? He's going to continue working because, this is what happens to traditional men, okay? You go out there, you provide, you care for your wife or your girlfriend, and then you get stolen from for doing it, okay? This guy sounds like a traditional guy. He wants the girl at home doing the homemaking, the family, as it were, right? The family building, if they have children, etc., look after the kids, and he wants to go out there and he wants to provide for the family. Okay, now he wants to cut back a little bit. Maybe he doesn't want to work 3 jobs. Maybe he wants to work 2 instead. I think this woman is offering to do this, knowing full well that he's going to say no. You know, oh, I can go out there and get a job, don't worry, but I really don't want to downsize. You know, because she knows that this guy is not willing to do that, right? He views himself as the provider. This is the traditional man that women say that they want, by the way. And this is what happens to these traditional men, especially when you give your woman access to your finances. Absolute craziness to me. And as far as I understand it, guys, you know, if you go to courts or something like this and you have a track record of quite literally sharing finances with your girlfriend or wife, that's not going to help you when she's trying to steal money from you. You know, it's just not going to help you whatsoever.
Basically told me that me going back to work wouldn't make enough. After an argument, my husband went through our finances to see where we could cut back. He was confused when he saw that I had regular occurring withdrawals leading back years and asked me about it. I broke down and revealed my money to him.
My money,
which now sits at about $47,000. After I told him all this, he just broke down sobbing.
We are not surprised by his reaction. All this time, he thought the family didn't have money, only to find his wife with $47,000 when they were struggling financially.
And this woman had been stealing this the entire damn time, by the way, for years. I don't know why. This is so damn stupid, man. This dude, what has he been doing? Not checking the finances for years? Why is he not checking the finances? Okay. Dudes, like, we oftentimes think we're like, okay, well, I can get into a relationship with a woman now. She seems fine and I can just relax. I'm going to go out there and work and I'm going to trust her to do the things correctly. And it's like, guys, you know, a lot of the women these days, you can't just neglect something as serious as your bank account and leave it up to anybody. I don't care if it's your, you know, your wife, your girlfriend. I don't care who it is, guys. But dudes out here leaving their finances to somebody else and not checking it for years at a time, you are absolutely insane, my man. And then what, you just rely on her to tell you that the finances are not doing well? Like, absolutely insane to me, man. But so he wants to downsize. The woman has set aside $47,000, which he finds. And by the way, guys, how hilarious is this? What happens when he finds the resources, right? When he finds that $47,000, guess what happens? She starts crying, right? Like, she's been stealing from him this entire damn time, and yet she's the one that's crying. This is the definition of no accountability whatsoever. As soon as the woman gets found out, what is the first strategy that we have to employ? The absolute first strategy that we employ is we have to cry and we have to make it seem like, you know, she was somehow the victim. Why is the woman crying, guys? It's like, let's ask ourselves that question. She's the one that's been screwing him over, and yet she's the one that's crying. So insane. Let's keep going.
I know most people would have the same feelings.
His point of view is that I treated him like a predator and hid money from him for years, even when he was at his lowest. I told him that the money was a precaution I would have taken with any partner and not specific to him. He left the house to stay with his brother and said, I heard him on every possible level.
At this point, it's no longer about the money. He broke down because he didn't know he was on this by himself. He probably thought they were a team, but her actions proved otherwise.
But my mom says this is exactly what the money is for and should bail now.
She got into the relationship.
Wait. So the mother who told her to steal the money in the first place was saying that, so after she got busted, the mother then used this as justification for taking money in the first place. So she said, well, you know, he's clearly going to end the relationship now, so you were totally in the right taking money from him. Yeah, he's going to end the relationship with you, or at least he should, because you stole money from him. Isn't that just crazy to think about, guys? How they use the same awful actions that they do as justification for doing the actions in the first place. Like, what kind of logic is this?
With the wrong mindset, and that's why they got to this stage.
And that's the problem.
Why does she need an escape fund? What is she escaping from? If one starts a marriage and planning for a divorce, they are increasing their chances to end up in a divorce. If you have concerns and think you need an escape fund, don't get married. Pretty good. Glad you enjoying retirement. While I agree that you should always have savings just in case you break up, but not telling him is weird. If anything, she should have saved it as a rainy day fund for their household.
No. What she should have done is not misappropriated his money. I don't think the dude should have given her access to the finances in the first place. But it's like, what should this woman have used the finances for a different purpose or blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, number one, she shouldn't have access to them in the first place. Number two, it should go towards the essentials and things that they have already outlined. There should be nothing that is off the books. This is so damn stupid, man. It's crazy to me how, like, dudes will go out here and allow this to happen. This woman is an absolute psycho, by the way. And you know what? A lot of women go out here and they do behaviors like this. But I've also got to roast the dude a bit for doing this. I think we as dudes, we're told throughout society, throughout our lives, right, that women can do no wrong and we just have to trust absolutely everybody. Men get gaslit to hell. Have you guys heard this, right? You'll have women who will quite literally go out to the clubs, and if you don't want your girlfriend or wife or whatever to go to the club, then they'll call you insecure. Okay, they'll say that, you know, you're not a real man, blah, blah, blah. I just go out to make friends. I mean, we've all heard this garbage before. Dudes are just brainwashed to think this crap. But at a certain point, guys, you've got to have a spine and stand up for yourself and say, no, this is really damn stupid. This also jeopardizes my financial situation. You know, what if the woman decides to leave? Which, by the way, guys, I want to outline this once again. Women are the ones who are predominantly leaving these marriages. If anything, the dude should be protecting himself, not you protecting yourself. Women have such a high rate of divorce, guys. It is absolutely insane. Yet she feels the need to protect herself with his money. So let's keep going with the video here.
And if she felt that way, she should have never agreed not to work, or still had some type of side hustle, or save her own rainy day fund. And don't lie about it. Just go to school and have something to fall back on for yourself. There are too many layers to this. First, she decided to create an escape account behind his back, and then she didn't use it to support the family when they needed it. She saw him doing all those extra hours to support their household, while the money that could have been used was always sitting in her account.
Am I the asshole for not giving my husband my escape money when I saw that we were financially struggling?
That was a good question, and she probably knows the answer. But how can you keep money from your husband when you guys are struggling? He was working tirelessly and got to the point where he couldn't continue as it was too much. But still, she decided to keep the money for herself.
I broke down and revealed my money to him.
My money.
Which now sits at about $47,000. After I told him all this, he just broke down sobbing.
Forget about the money. It's no longer important at this point. The main issue is the fact that she was able to watch him going through a hard time, working multiple full-time jobs plus Uber driver to make more as the family needed it, only to realize that she could have helped but decided not to.
Yeah, this guy essentially realized, what he realized in this particular moment was that his girlfriend or his wife, was not on the same team. She was a parasite. She was actively working against him. And so this guy was obviously really distraught at the situation. This is what happens to a lot of guys the first time that they are, seriously betrayed and things like this. They're like, oh, wait a minute. Women can go out here and do these sorts of things. People can do these sorts of things to me. I've kind of always held this position, guys, which is that people in general will treat you as poorly as you allow them to treat you, right? If you don't tolerate this sort of stuff, if you don't allow for it to happen in the first place, then it's a lot easier to navigate. But dudes will be so naive and they'll be gaslit by society into, you have to be secure, right? What are you guys, not a secure relationship? You guys should have joint finances. Like, the gaslighting is just so endless towards men that men eventually, they believe this crap growing up, that nobody, especially women, will do them no wrong. And dudes just grow up so naive, man. It's really sad to see. And then they get screwed over in divorce courts. They lose their kids. They lose a lot of their finances. Their whole perception of reality shatters very damn quickly because they didn't think that the world worked in this particular way. But then they realize, right, and they get hit really hard with a dose of reality. Once again, men have been hit with reality ever since they were a very young age. But this one in particular is quite a different ball game, as it were. Let's keep going.
He was bothered due to the mindset behind it. If she was able to keep that money even when they were struggling, it sends a message that he was alone. There was no partnership, and this was probably the harder part about it.
But my mom says this is exactly what the money is for.
Hiding the money was the reason for this problem, not the solution. They wouldn't have an issue if she didn't have this brilliant idea of following that advice, and now she was convinced that this money will help, not realizing it was the source of the problem.
Do you aspire to be a stay-at-home mom?
If it comes with an allowance, yeah.
An allowance?
Yeah, like if he gives
Makes
me money
sense.
weekly, yeah.
Obviously, the man is
Wait. Am I hearing this correctly? This woman says that she's happy to be a stay-at-home mother, but in order for her to be a mother, wait, was it a stay-at-home mother? I believe it was. You have to pay her. What am I doing, man? Am I just like out here renting a car or something? I have to give a woman a stay-at-home allowance for her to want to be, for example, a mother? What happened to women actually wanting to be mothers because, I don't know, they cared about their kids and they cared about the family unit? Like, what happened to this? It just got thrown out the window, guys. What we're left with these days seems to me like night workers. And women will tell each other this stuff. Oh, girl, you know, if your man's not paying your bills or giving you an allowance, then you should go find yourself a new man. This is why all of these women are single. Like, absolutely, guys. This is why so many of them, they just run into situationship after situationship. Now, if you don't know what a situationship is, maybe you've been living under a rock these last few years. I don't blame you. It's a very disgusting word. It's basically women who go out and hook up with dudes, but they fail to get commitment for an extended period of time. So they call it a situationship because they've got no commitment. It honestly has been a great move on the behalf of Chads, guys, because women think this crap is normal, but it really isn't. They're just losing and they don't understand it. But it's very funny to watch. So yeah, renting a stay-at-home mother, essentially. Like, if you're going to sit there and say, hey, a man has to give me an allowance for me to be a stay-at-home mother, stay-at-home girlfriend or whatever, you know what dudes are going to do? Number one, they're going to overlook you. And number two, they're going to realize that it's just cheaper to go out there and hire a night worker. I've seen many comments from dudes these days. They're like, you know what? What's the point of going out here and having one of these women? I could just hire one every now and then instead, and it will work out to be way cheaper. Makes sense, guys. You know, you can't really fault the logic there, can you?
Working out there, getting the bread, so life is good for you.
Yeah.
But
it
you
has
saying
to
you
be.
want
That's
even an
part of
extra
it.
incentive? Like, give me a little bit of extra.
Of course.
Yeah.
I also want to have my own
Yeah.
thing too.
There
Like
you
I want to
go.
have my
Yes,
own
own
credit, my own
business.
cars. I want to have my own thing. Where
Why do you want your own?
I'm gonna tell you why I want my own. Because nothing is forever.
Right. So this woman, number one, she wants your money. So she wants a man who's a good earner to begin with. She wants that six-figure man right off the bat. He has to have a nice house, nice cars, the whole lot, right? Then she wants you to buy her, I'm assuming, cars and stuff for her because she needs her own things. Then she wants to be able to do her stuff on the side. So she wants the income from whatever it is that she's doing. Honestly, judging by this woman's character, it's probably night working. So she wants that money as well. And then all of this, the justification for all of this is because she's eventually going to leave you. Let's be honest about it. Nothing lasts forever. Yeah, nothing lasts forever with you because you're awful. Yeah, like, that's just the way it works, man. Of course nothing works for you. You're insane. You're absolutely insane. And men don't want to date people like you. So of course nothing works out forever.
Exit. It doesn't make any sense.
You think that it's okay for
need
a
to take
woman
notes.
to be a stay-at-home mom as long as she could plot her exit?
It's not plotting your exit.
There's no intention in his mind to make a backup plan in case you don't do what you want to do and you decide to just bounce.
Okay.
So what happens is when we get to this conversation is like, why do men not want to be married? This is the example, because if I go and I bust my behind and I provide and protect and I do everything for my wife, not my girlfriend, my wife, she's still thinking in the back of her head that this is a possibility, this is not going to work, and she wants to be okay when it doesn't. The ideology that
Oh yeah, well, not only that, it's actually a lot worse than that. It's not just that they want to be, have their finances ready to go when they leave, which by the way, none of these women bring their own nest egg or anything like that to the relationship. You're expected to provide it naturally. It's actually worse than that, okay? They're not just plotting their exit. They know the exit. They know who the next boyfriend is. They know who the next hookup is. They know exactly who the next man that they're going to DM, if they haven't already been DMing him on Instagram is. Okay, do you guys think, dudes are so naive these days, man? They think that these women like burn these bridges with other men and they just turn these things off. No, these girls know exactly who they're going to next. It's already planned. It's not that they're planning it. Leaving is already planned, guys. They know the username of the dude on Instagram that they will message after they are done with you. And this is why dudes don't want to get married. They don't want to have relationships and things like this, because unfortunately, the absolute creature on the couch a moment ago is absolutely right. Nothing these days really lasts forever. Let's keep going.
that you have in the mindset is called catastrophizing. A lot of women do it, and basically what that is when a woman is preparing for the tragedy rather than focusing on what is currently happening in their relationship.
The allowance is you being able to stay at home. Allowing a woman to financially set herself up to bounce on me using my hard-earned money is crazy. That's what my ex was doing, 5 months separated after nearly 14 years. I was told by a male professor that an organized man is a prepared man. It does not hurt for a wife to make sure that money is being stowed away in the event the family may need it when something happens to her husband. That's good planning. Why is it viewed?
I don't even think that these women should be touching the finances in the first place, guys. And the reason why I don't think that is because women are the ones who are leaving the marriages and leaving the relationships in the first place. If you guys go out there and you look at the statistics, okay, I believe someone corrects me if I'm wrong, all right? But what I have heard from the grapevine is this: 50% or thereabouts of marriages end in divorce. 70 to 80% of those are initiated by women. I'll say that again, 70 to 80% of those are initiated by women. And then that number goes as high as 90% if the woman is college educated. That is just from what I understand. I could be wrong on those numbers. Do I particularly doubt those numbers? No, I do not. I actually think that the numbers are probably worse than they seem. But in any case, women are the ones who are leaving these relationships. So with that in mind, guys, you know, you have a high percentage of your marriage failing or your relationship failing or things like this. So why is it, why would you ever give access to your bank account to these individuals? I don't understand it, guys. You're providing for everything. You're paying for everything. Just do it yourself, man. Something needs to be bought, buy it yourself. You know, like, don't rely on these girls. And they don't even know what's needed in the home, man. You guys think that these women are like chefs or anything? You already know these girls are like ordering Uber Eats and crap like this. They're not really out about their cooking life or anything like this. If you were to tell me that the average one of these women who are leaving these comments has read a cookbook before, I don't think I would necessarily believe you. Maybe when she was a kid or something and her mother showed her, maybe her mother was of better caliber than she was. But you know, if you told me that in the last 5 years none of these women have read a cookbook, I would totally and utterly believe you. And yet they're the ones managing their finances, picking up the groceries apparently and things like this. Get the hell out of here, bro.
As a selfish desire instead of something great for the family. This is a privileged position, and I know a lot of women would be happy to have this opportunity, but here she is claiming that she needs to be.
Oh, it is absolutely a privileged position. Let's not forget that, okay? The man paying for everything, the man looking after the finances, looking after the house, hell, protecting you from intruders and everything else that men do, fixing the physical problems that come up, the things that these women never seem to be grateful for, you know, fixing the car, etc., right? All the things that dudes do, they look after you from A to Z, and all you have to do is sit there and not do anything egregious, and you can't even do that. It is a privileged position. Like, make no mistake, dudes, this is a privileged position for the women to be in, excuse me, and they still want you to pay them to take that position. Make that make sense to me.
Paid for it. So she wants to get an allowance for something that other people would gladly take? Why would he do such thing? As a family, we both bring something to the relationship to make it work, and if you have a man who will give you that choice, you should be grateful because many women are looking for that spot. They wouldn't require a payment.
I want to have my own thing where
Why do you want your own?
I'm gonna tell you why I want my own. Because nothing is forever.
So
This mindset doesn't help when it comes to the longevity of a relationship. She wants to get married, but already thinking about her exit, and then she going to be the first to complain that for some reason her relationships are not lasting. Those who have this mindset are the first to quit when things get hard. They don't see the need to work things out as their exit plan is already in place. So what's the point?
This seems like common sense, but I'm going to say it anyways. I'm not lucky that I have a good husband. I have a good husband because I married a good man. People keep commenting on my TikTok that I'm lucky I have such a good husband. I'm lucky that he puts up with this, blah, blah, blah. Luck didn't have anything to do with it. I mean, he was a good man when we were dating, so I married him. Good men turn into good husbands.
She better say it louder for those in the back because I don't think they got her message.
Yeah, modern women, they don't really comprehend this, okay? Because again, when modern women are going out there dating, I've seen this idea be passed around so many damn times. This is what society will tell you, okay? Society tells you that when women are going out there dating, that they're looking for the good men. That is a huge joke. That has to be one of the biggest memes of current day society, guys. Oh, I just want a good man. I want a nice man. No, they don't. Look at a modern woman's dating history. Hell, even go out there, guys. Ask them about it. Ask women about their dating history and about the types of men, and like, you know, ask them, what's the dating pool right now like? Like, what is dating life right now? And they'll tell you, oh, it absolutely sucks. And ask them, why does it suck? Like, are the men falling short on something? Is there something that the men could be doing better? Ask them the questions, and they'll tell you. They'll tell you the exact kind of men that they have tried to date previously. Okay, and let me tell you, it's not the good men, it's not the nice men. Okay, what comes first is how attractive is the man. Okay, so the women will go out there, they will shoot their shot immediately with the men who are highly attractive. That is the first thing that happens. All of this stuff like personality and humor and things like this, I mean, I'm sure they matter to some extent. Is it really that big of an extent? Probably damn not. Okay, but when do the women want the good men? Okay, what happens is they get to 30 and they realize, oh crap, wait a minute, I need something serious now. And then they go look for the dudes who have the big bank balances that they can tolerate, that they feel like they're not settling too much for. So this idea is crazy, man. Modern women go out here, they don't date the good men. This is an absolute joke, guys. Now, I'm not saying you have to be a bad man or anything like this, but I'm just telling you the way it is, okay? These women are not out here typically looking for some dude who's really nice. It just doesn't happen, guys. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be a nice person, right? That's not what that means. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be a good person. But what it means is women are certainly lying about what they're actually looking for, particularly when they go out there dating. Let's continue.
Bad boyfriends don't make good husbands. I knew when I was dating Caden that he would be a great husband and a great father. So I chose to marry him and then bear his children. It wasn't luck. It wasn't like a coin flip. I knew who he was and I knew I wanted to build a life with him. Somebody commented that her partner would strangle her if she acted like I did, and it was like, you should get a new partner.
I know we are lucky to have found good men, but there are indeed good men still, and people just don't choose them because they think they are boring. You're lucky to have found a good man. Yep, all of this. It wasn't luck, I picked well. For me, the luck was growing up with adults modeling healthy relationships and a father who showed me how to recognize a good man who would be a...
And there it is. This comment, guys, pretty much sums it up as well, right? This is the whole crux of the issue. For me, the luck was growing up with adults modeling healthy relationships and having a father in the picture, essentially. And this is exactly what modern day society strongly discourages. Okay, it does not encourage a family unit to stay together. You mean to tell me that a woman can leave me at any given point in time, take all of my crap and my kids, and she can do this because she feels like it? I mean, step number one, abolish that nonsense. Like, what is that, guys? What is the point of people going out there and actually getting into serious committed relationships when the men are punished for doing it in the first place? Let's start there, and then we'll start to have a conversation. But a lot of issues start from exactly this comment here, which is that fathers they're not in the homes. They're either getting pushed out or the women are choosing the bad ones. So, you know, something needs to change here. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, remember to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.